Welcome back to Friday Night Fish Talk. We're starting over, the whole thing. So, super cool sign.
Big sign, big sign.
Big sign made by Extreme Decalz, Brian.
Thank you very much,
What we
Brian.
were saying earlier, we literally just gave Brian a brief description. We said, we want a big sign behind us on the new set. And Brian said, I know exactly what you're talking about. So,
brought it to life, and here it is.
How cool is that? I'm telling you guys, go check Brian out and his team. You just give him your vision, what's inside your head, and he'll take care of the rest.
That's it. He turns it into reality, and it's pretty sweet.
We also have something hidden behind that shirt. It is we're not going to do it yet. We're not going to do it yet after the pregame show. But we have a new presenting sponsor. That is the reason that we got all this new fancy equipment and was able to remodel the studio.
Absolutely.
They're huge supporters of us. They've been watching the show since we started. So
yep, a lot of the guys are huge supporters of them.
Really excited.
We're all pretty excited to have them on board.
Yeah, so we'll introduce them here in a little bit. But before we do that, we want to hear your questions. So not about the sound, but we want to hear your questions about fishing, whatever it may be, how Captain Louie's been doing on grouper. Let's get these questions out of the way now until we get into the different segments and the scripts and our special guest tonight. So between him and Zach, I'm sure it's going to go on about 3 or 4 hours. So, right?
Sounds about right. At least having Zach.
So,
is the questionnaire there.
So ask those. All right, so if someone wants to know what's hiding behind your head.
It's going to be another sign.
Yep. Well, there's a shirt behind it right now, but it's a sign that's behind the shirt. But we're going to be talking about that soon. We're super excited to be talking about that.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Sean? The new sound, yeah. So, whole new sound system. You know, while it's on right now, what do you guys think? Are we coming through a little more punchy? Let us know how you think it sounds.
Yeah. Just trying to grow.
Captain Ken? Ken Claimer. I know sign language, but I'm not going to do it on camera.
Yeah, it's usually just one. They let you know number one.
That's that wave you get on the airboat rides.
A lot. Yeah, sometimes number 2.
Brian, what did he ask? So now is the time to start the shallow water grouper fishing.
Absolutely, it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, the cooler it gets, the better it gets, Brian. But now is when those fish are making their move in, so they're hungry. So there might not be as many grouper in the shallow water, but they're hungry.
Very good quality ones.
And good quality, yeah, the big ones. But they're coming here. They've been on the move, so they are hungry. It's also a great time to start scouting now too.
Absolutely. I mean, at least you're not disturbing the bunches of them.
Yeah.
Learn your rocks now, learn your positions now, and heck, in the next month, it's going to be really good fishing.
Yep. So a lot of grass out there. Kind of difficult to throw plugs, but
yeah, those days are coming.
Yep, we'll get there soon. Water's crystal clear.
It is.
Any other
At least
questions?
on the airboat side, playing in the reef, it's always clear.
So I tell you what, I'm excited to get into the show. So unless there's any other questions, let's go ahead and hit to a commercial. No, the temporary intro. But I'll tell you what, this is what we're going to say. We are going to jump into Friday Night Fish Talk. I had a piece of paper with all that plantation stuff. Where'd it go?
Just to let you know, the plantation's doing a flats class university.
With
What'd you just do? What'd you do?
Alrighty, guys, welcome to Friday Night Fish Talk.
Back on board again.
Captain Billy and myself. It was a great pregame show once we got the new sound figured out.
It definitely helps to be able to hear.
Yeah, so super excited. I mean, we've got all the same crew here, but the one thing that we added was a special guest captain each week.
Gonna like that too.
So we're gonna have different views. We're gonna have different, techniques, different ways of fishing the area.
Guides coming out of different regions of our little county here too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So different marinas, talking about different baits. I'm really excited about this. I've always wanted some different outlook and different, opinions other than just what's in here in this room. So this is a great way.
Absolutely. It's going to be the best way to do it.
We have one of the best in the studio tonight.
Pretty excited.
So we'll let Captain Zac introduce him here in a little bit. But before we get into anything else, let's talk about the Plantation Redfish Classic.
Yes, it's going to be an awesome fishing tournament. Very excited for it.
Not only is it a fishing tournament, but it's a fun event. I mean, they got all kinds of cool stuff, Billy. They have C.A. Richardson, that after the captain's meeting on Friday, he is going to be doing a, what was it called, Mark?
Flats Class University.
Flats Class University.
Too cool.
That sounds neat. We're definitely going to be, you and I are going to be fishing the tournament, so we'll
Very
be there
excited
for that.
about being in it.
We'd love to hear CA do some talking about fishing, do a little more learning on our end. They have all kinds of prizes. I mean, they have cash prizes.
That's what I heard. It was like $5,000 and plus prizes.
Yeah, well, and $5,000 is like the minimum there. It's based off of entry.
That's too cool.
You never know. But Paul Cross from the Plantation, he's actually watching right now, and he's going to be answering questions from you all. So if you just
anything you want to know about the tournament, any details to it, he is here with us right now to do all the answering for you.
So I'm really excited. Couple things on it is redfish. So it's a live tournament.
Yep, nothing on ice.
Well, grouper.
Oh, yep,
You can bring your grouper in on ice, but it's a live tournament, and you can measure 2 redfish in the slot limit. So 2 25-inch redfish, that's 50 inches. I think if somebody can verify the math for me, but that's how they're going to do it.
No guarantees around here.
I believe it's $99 per person per angler.
Decent buy-in.
Yeah,
not too bad.
And then trout is you can
measure 5. Was it?
Measure 5 trout, and it's through the CCA app.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you download the app and then you snap a picture on a special ruler that they'll send you.
Measure them out and add them up.
And it's a total length of 5 trout combined.
That is awesome.
And then grouper is heaviest. But the CCA is going to be there at the tournament, so when you bring in your redfish, they have to be brought in live. When you bring in your redfish, they are going to take care of a proper release after the fact. So just make sure those redfish are nice and healthy when you bring them. You can launch anywhere you want, but you have to bring those redfish live back to the plantation point by the gazebo.
Nice,
there.
yep.
So you can bring them by boat, or if you have some sort of live well system in the back of your truck. So,
too cool. That'd be exciting. I'm
really excited.
Yep.
October 16th, if I'm not mistaken. 15th. Yep.
Too cool.
And then they have an awards dinner afterwards as well, and the CCA is going to be doing some stuff at that. It's just a really cool weekend.
An awesome
I'm excited about it for sure.
Very much so.
But besides that, and again, if you guys have any questions about the Redfish Classic of Plantation, be sure to ask them on live right now. Paul Cross from the Plantation is monitoring. He will answer those questions for you. So
awesome.
Get those registries in before it caps out. Billy, we just got back from an epic vacation.
So nice down in the Keys. It was a very enjoyable trip, much needed, and happened to do pretty good on the lobster side.
It was awesome. You know what my favorite part was?
What's that?
Before the trip, everyone that we know down there that's been going down, guys, I wouldn't even waste your time on lobster.
Yes, it's been a very rough year down there for lobster.
Yeah.
You can't find them. Unless you're going to find them, you need tanks, go deep water.
Bring some rods, go mangrove snapper fishing off the dock. Just don't waste your time on lobster. We get down there, stop at every place. Yeah, lobster season's been slow. But with the crew that we had, the scalloping experience that we have, the shallow water grouper spearfishing we have, we got limits.
We know our waters here. We just translated it to the Keys, and well, paid off quite well.
It's real similar. I mean, we focus like on Snipe Point all the way up to the Contents, the Gulf side, that really pretty water. A lot of people will try to urge you to go dive in those channels, which don't get me wrong.
Playing in people's backyards. I mean, you can produce lobster. It just doesn't feel right there.
Yeah, you're going to the Keys for the Keys, not.
Yeah, I don't want to go lobstering under somebody's boat.
So there's lobster there, and then Captain Louie at the Bush Home Service Tackle Table Talk is going to be talking about the lobster gear that you need to bring with you.
That's it. Everything that made our lives easier and what it does to keep it legal, there it is.
Yep. And there he is there. He's got his tickle stick that he uses at home as well. And his 3-inch measuring device.
Are we up to par, Louie? Make sure it doesn't wiggle in there, though.
Make sure it doesn't wiggle in there.
Tell him that's a whiff, right? So he'll be getting into that in a little bit, and then we're also going to be talking about different tackle and what Zach and his guests are going to be talking about. Let's talk about the area in the Keys, because we are kind of focusing on Spiny Lobster tonight.
Yes.
I think a lot of people feel like it's too complicated, or you need to know the lay of the land. Florida Marine Tracks helped us out a lot down there. That was
That it really did.
the big thing.
Yeah, the past few years, we just kind of wing it of trying to get out to these areas, and we did well, but there was certain times and tides that
Like the time you hit the deck and laid on the deck.
it's a pucker factor.
Yeah.
That is a serious
The tides
fact.
are different there. The tides
Absolutely.
are complicated, but I'm telling you, Florida Marine Tracks was huge. That South Florida Marine Track chip, I bought one of those. I didn't think I'd need it. That helped out big time, and we got to explore different areas. The GPS or the satellite imagery was great to find different lobster spots.
Made our way from Cudjoe to Key West and all the way back to Cudjoe.
Yeah, and you don't need a big boat either.
Not really.
I mean, the winds were gusting. What were they exactly? Like 20 to 30 the whole time we were there.
I think Saturday when we went, it was every bit of the 20s.
Yeah,
It
and
was 15 to 30 the whole time we were there, and then when you guys left, it was doing 15 to 25.
Yeah.
I mean,
it felt about right.
Yeah. And it was beautiful. I thought it was great weather. I mean, but where we go in that area that we're talking about, Kemp Channel, Turkey Basin, that whole area, it's so well protected.
That was it.
A lot of people
Marine
feel
Tracks.
like that the Keys is designed around the deep water.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. So a couple places to look at staying. Big Pine, you can get in that protected water.
Absolutely. We did venture out.
Yeah,
off
Cudjoe. Venture out's a great place to stay. Lots of vacation rentals in the area. If you're like us, I think we ended up with 22 people that went in our group.
We did,
We
yes.
all stayed on the same block. It was nice, convenient, awesome water access. Great. I mean, for a gated community, they were super cool.
Absolutely. Mangrove snapper all in the backyard. Even one good massive shark. Sadly, Zach didn't go off the bow of the boat. He's hoping for it.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. And then the spearfishing. It wasn't as good as we saw in previous years. The hog snapper seemed just right on the borderline.
Well, that and they turned around and changed the law of the hog snapper. Last year I want to say it was 14 inches. This year it was 16. So it definitely upped the game on picking out that right fish.
Yeah, and we'll see a benefit from that though in a few years, just like grouper here.
Yeah, I can't knock them for doing it by any means, but to find that 16-inch where we were playing was a little tougher.
And you got that nice black grouper in about 4 foot of water.
It was too. Yeah, we could stand on top of the ledge, and same thing for that dogfish or dog snapper.
So
it was a lot of fun.
What we're trying to say is we really encourage y'all to go down there and explore. We encourage y'all to not be intimidated by deep water. There's plenty of other options.
Oh yeah.
Get yourself a Simrad or a Lowrance in that Florida Marine Track, and that's going to really help you out. And listen to Captain Louie later on the right kind of gear, and then time too. That's the other thing is people kept telling us don't waste your time later in the season, that the commercial wipes out all the lobster. We've went this time 4 years in a row now, and we do well every year.
See the commercial guys out there running their boats, they do their thing. That's fine. There's still plenty of lobster to be found.
Less traffic, cheaper prices. So
we did all of our lobstering where the commercial guys couldn't, so did quite well with it.
But we had a great time. So enough of that. Sean, I don't have the script right in front of me. Are we going to launch it? Commercial? All right, so we're going to do a commercial break, and then when we come back, then we're going to introduce our new presenting sponsor. So stay tuned.
Gonna see me lift my shirt.
On pre-owned trucks, you need Phillips Buick GMC. Trucks, and more trucks. Phillips Buick GMC has a massive selection of pre-owned trucks, all makes and models. Work trucks, 4x4 trucks, heavy duty, and even diesels. And if we don't have it, we'll find it for you. At Phillips, we'll even pay cash for your truck. Get an instant cash offer at PhillipsBuickGMC.com today. Shop the best selection in Central Florida at Phillips Buick GMC in Fruitland Park, just south of the Villages.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. So, do we want to do the revealing?
Such a nice sign.
It is awesome sign.
A really nice sign that they also made for us, Brian, up there at Extreme Decalz.
Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, the new presenting sponsor of Friday Night Fish Talk is Phillips Auto Group over there in Ocala and Summerlin. They are some of the coolest people I mean, they have been watching our show. They fish with Louie. They fish with Zac.
Yep.
They're down-to-earth fishermen. You know,
That's the coolest part.
They love the show. They love how real we are. You know, they watch it. I guess a lot of them join together first thing in the morning Saturday, and they watch it together in the showroom.
I was gonna say, I even had Zach Salesman on my airboat.
Yeah,
he was a
you
great
got
guy to have on board.
Zach,
21, 13 miles on it.
what kind of truck is it?
Fancy.
It's a Dodge.
Dodge?
It's a Dodge.
Crew cab. Standard.
And the back window works?
Oh, man. All the windows work. The AC works. And guess what? The radio works.
The radio works?
My old one, if I started the truck up in the morning and the radio worked, I knew it was going to be a phenomenal day. Now I listen to tunes every time I'm in the vehicle. It's
Every day is a great
It's
day.
absolutely amazing.
So, and then Louie, Pop's got a truck from them,
Dad
right?
got a truck. Same truck. It's a Dodge Bighorn.
Just a little older.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Dad's a little older.
His had 2,000
Got a
miles
little
on
bit
it.
bigger tires on Dad's truck, but you know,
And the back window,
a little more manly.
and it's got a V8.
Oh, it does have V8.
And the back window works too.
You know how cheap I am, guys.
We know.
But, you know, Zach, you were telling me, is that your first new vehicle you bought?
First new vehicle ever.
And I remember you having this conversation. You were intimidated about the financial part of it and how it was going to go down and all the different taxes. How was that experience with their financial group?
Oh my gosh, man! I showed up. I looked at the truck. I said I like it. He's like, all right, well let's go in and do this, this, and this. I'm like, let's do it tomorrow. You know, because it was already late. Man, they went in there, knocked the whole thing out in a few minutes. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, really, really easy, super smooth, fast. Gave me all my information on, you know, when I need to pay, who I need to pay, the whole entire thing. I mean, gave me a low interest rate. I mean, everything was just spot on, phenomenal. Couldn't have asked for any better first experience buying a vehicle.
Good deal.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
like Vinny was explaining to me, he's like, when you walk there, it's the most unpressured feeling possible.
No,
you
they're
know,
like, hey man, this is it. This is what, you know, all the bells and whistles, this other. Here's the keys. Drive it around, see if you like it. If you like it, great. Come and talk to us. If you don't like it, no worries. Just come drop the keys off. And
That's where I do feel bad for them, though. They'll never, ever, ever sell Zach another truck.
no.
I will drive this thing to my grave.
He sold me on the extended 10-year warranty, which I'm like, hell yeah. I'm gonna keep this thing.
going back. But no, I'm super excited. I've already got my dream vehicle picked out. So not only the Dodge Chrysler, Toyota, Jeep.
A little bit of everybody from what I've understood. And that's the coolest part about it is, you know, it's almost a one-stop shop with this company.
Buick, they've got those new Buick SUVs that are super cool. I'm trying to talk Ray into them so I can take her truck. But no, I've got my dream vehicle picked out. I'm really excited to go deal with these guys. And I'm so thrilled. So Phillips Auto Group, thank you all
Great
so
to have
much.
you all on board.
We appreciate everything. And we've got a new show that's going to be coming out next year thanks to Phillips Auto Group. But we won't give away too many secrets yet. So we'll wait and get to Zac and Marrio so they can give all the secrets away.
That's right.
So that being said, let's go over to Captain Louie at the Bush Home Services Tackle Table Talk.
That's not them. There they are.
Hey guys, Captain Louie here with Tackle Table Talk presented by Bush Home Services. Gary was talking about lobstering. Obviously, we don't lobster in Crystal River. I've never done it before. I haven't been to the Keys since I was like 5 or so. So on the way down, we had to stop, get all the gear. It's fairly simple. You need a tickle stick, 3-foot tickle stick. You need to have a measuring device on there, which fits in between the front part of their nose shell,
Right between the eyes.
right between the
show the
eyes,
camera.
and then goes to
That
the
just
back of their
sounds too
shell.
professional. Therapist.
See, this is all new to me. So obviously that's supposed to fit in that shell, and it's supposed to fit in there, and it's not supposed to wiggle.
No.
It's not at all.
It's not supposed to fit all.
It's not supposed to fit at all.
That was it. So we learned that.
See, that's how our learning. That's how our learning process went. We did the first time was wrong, so now we're doing
And
it
then
again.
we threw those back.
Or we yes,
And then we learned the next day.
Or we,
yes, and then the next day, Gary came back and we, but it's fine because very simple if you guys ever want to go down there and do this, you need a tickle stick, a measurer, what we always called a lobster net. I didn't know why we called it a lobster net until now.
That's true.
You know, the really cool part about this, it's easy. They're right there. We're in 4 feet of water, 5 feet of water. You look down there, you see these tentacles popping out under the ledge. It took us a little while to figure out what the heck we were looking at, but once we figured it out, kind of like scalloping, it was pretty easy. Like I was saying, you know, my group, we were trying to learn as we were going, and the first time I saw one pop out of a hole, I went down there to grab them, barehanded. They're spiny lobsters. You know, spiny. You need gloves. I finally figured that out about 3 lobsters in, that it was a good idea to put a glove on. I was also trying to grab them in the hole, reaching my whole arm in there. I like came out and had black all on my arm, and Lindsay was asking me, it's like, why is your arm just covered in gunk? And I was like, well, I thought you were supposed to shove your hand in that hole. No.
That's what she said. You know, that was a fun trick we played on Louie, though, because we all said, should we tell him he needs gloves? Nah, let's let him find out.
See what happens.
Should we tell him what he's looking for? That'd be nice. But what was really cool was once you found them, you got over them, you saw them tentacles out, you took this thing right there behind them and you pat them on the butt, and pop right out there at you. And you just take that net and put it right behind them and kind of tickle them right into the net. It was really cool chasing them around. And the best part, my favorite part, was when you poked him out of there a little bit, and then he sat there and looked at you.
Yeah.
And you were like, all right.
What are you doing?
Which way are we going?
Backwards.
Backwards.
They go backwards. That's
but they like to turn. They'll turn.
Oh, yeah. They're quick.
They're quick.
And they're mean.
Yes. But like what I was getting at, have gloves. Something that Gary was, you know, kind of adamant about is when you're wearing these gloves, you know, we're all in the water. We're all love to see groupers. We all love to see what's under the ledge. So if you take a little light, poke that light up under there, you can see a whole lot better. The reason we got these little lights, you can shove them right up here under your glove. That way it's kind of out of the way. You're not having some big dive light like Zach likes to drag around all over the rocks.
Easiest thing was came right from Divers Direct.
Exactly, Divers Direct.
Right,
it was right there. Super easy the whole time. If you put it in your pocket, it's right there in your pocket. We also got these hotels, which, I mean, every time I came back with like 6 or 8 or 10 keepers, I had this thing loaded down. No laughs? Nothing?
That was his whole trip, was 6, 8, maybe 10
I think I got
keepers.
12. It's a fun feeling, though, honestly.
Whoa, 12.
Loading those things up.
It really is.
It is fun.
The best part is when you're carrying this thing around and then you
3.
drop it on the ledge right there. And then you look down and they're like beating each other up in there. It's pretty cool.
Well, you guys weren't around this when this happened, but I was getting some GoPro footage. Which, Sean, did we put that GoPro? No.
Big negatory.
I think that GoPro died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot to put the sealer thing on
That
it. The
part
sealer
died.
clip, yeah. But anyway, so I had one loaded up. I found a rock that just had like 75 to 100 lobster, and they were big, and it was shallow, crystal clear. Bree is 200 feet away on the boat. Billy's on the other side of the boat, and I'm yelling to Bree, bring the GoPro over here. I want to film this before we start tickling them out. And Bree says, I'm tired, I'm gonna stay in the boat. And the wind was blowing like my way, so my voice wasn't traveling, and we got into a big argument. But anyway, so I decided to swim back to the boat, and I dropped my lobster bag that was already full. I decided to swim back to the boat, get Billy's attention, bring his bag over. Well, at that time, Bree thought I was saying something about moving the boat. And so she drifted a little ways, trying to...
Oh, yeah, she's picking up the power pole.
Yeah, she was picking up the power pole. So when I got to the boat and I figured out she was trying to move, I forgot where I was. And I had my bag full of lobster next to a rock full of lobster. Yeah. But luckily, Billy found it. So that was, what, 30, 45-minute
Every bit of
excursion?
it. Yeah, every bit of it.
So
Sounds exactly like when
Just happened
Zach
to be in
found-
shallow waters.
Yeah, well, that's easy. Well, you guys also stayed shallow the whole time.
full time.
No reason to go deep.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Why
And
is
then
this wet?
a trick with the lobster too. So those lobster go crazy when they get in the net.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, they want to get out, and they know to turn and swim out. So when you get that net down behind them, you know, and you get them out of the
Stick it over
hole.
his head and just show it.
Yeah, you get them out of the hole, and you literally use this tickle stick to turn their bodies, nice and easy, to where their net, you know, they're facing towards the net, or their backs towards the net, and then you tap them on the nose. They go in the net. Turn your net right away as you're pulling up, and then take your tickle stick and shove it in there and lock them in.
Yeah, keeps them from escaping.
It's news to me, folks. I was there for a week.
So,
We
but you're
enjoy
ready for
watching them
next
struggle
year
at the
now.
same time.
And then the last thing I want to talk about on this segment that has to do with lobster, before we get into Zach and Mario's on Crystal River fishing, Billy, you discovered something. You were the only one of our group that was smart enough to listen to our friends over at Bahio to bring the pink glasses to the Keys.
Those things are intense.
Nuts.
These pink lenses down in the Keys, when it came to being able to see the depth difference, being in those waters with the sandy light bottoms, they were epic. I mean, I brought my green pairs, somebody had the blue pair. The pink ones, that was one of my favorite purchases for the Keys. That was the coolest thing, to be able to see those beautiful flats.
It was nuts, and you could, you know, you thought it would be something close. You could see for a mile.
Yes.
The bottom, the structure. It was, at first, you know, I saw, like, they work out here, don't get me wrong, early in the morning, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the salinity, clarity of the water, I have no idea.
They do work well, but it's mainly around the yellow bottom. But getting down there, where a lot of it is that sandy bottom, is just absolutely wild.
Well worth the $200 if you're going to the Keys. Really was. You could see the type of structure you're going over, the type of structure you're looking for. So next to Florida Marine Tracks, that is just as important down there, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
But but cool. So Louie, do you have anything else? I know you're going to be. You've got some of the tackle that they're going to be talking
I'll be back
about.
and forth. They do match my hat.
So, well, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to go over to the famous Captain Zac Zachary with somebody that has a better ponytail than
I
him.
told you they didn't look good.
Oh, he doesn't have it in.
That's
Hey Gary, what you doing? As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man. What's up, brother? Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
Whatever that is. All right, guys, welcome back to Friday Night Fish Talk with Ayinde, Matthews, State Farm Fishing Report on the casting couch. And I've got a pretty popular guy from Crystal River. We've got Captain Marrio with us today. We're going to be talking about a few different things in the area. We're going to go over 3 species, redfish, trout, snook, kind of what everything's doing right now. We've been off for about a month now, kind of going over general location, where we're finding them, and then different tackle we're using. So
tactics.
Tactics.
Yeah.
You want to start off with trout?
Sure. Trout bite's been okay. I usually do the trout fishing when it gets a little bit cooler, that 72 to 69, 68 degrees. But here recently, I would say in the past 5 or 6 days. The trout bite has been very good on the open flats, like anywhere, like we'll just say between Gomez Rock and maybe Tank Island. That whole that 2 to 3 foot area at low tide. Yep. It's been pretty good. Looking for the yellow bottom, like Zach and I fish around the same areas. We see each other all the time out there, but that yellow bottom is pretty good for the trout. I've been using a lot of the DOA jerk baits on the shallow, at the very bottom of the tide. We're doing the Mirror Little Johns when the water's either coming in or going out. Maybe 3 to 4 foot range. Yep. I try not to use popping corks. It's just something that I don't like doing. Yeah. He's the same way as I am. I try not to use the popping corks unless you have to.
I was telling you earlier, you wake up at night and you got 6 clients, at least me.
Oh yeah.
6 clients on board, throwing 6 popping corks like an orchestra going on.
Granted, they do catch fish, but if I throw a popping cork on a rod, it's usually putting them in timeout because they did something wrong. So, but either way, they do work. But I like jigging them better than using the popping cork. It's for me, it's a little bit easier. I can drift further as soon as I find those fish. A lot of times that yellow bottom, you'll drift over some water and you'll have nothing but grass, and all of a sudden you come to a big spot of yellow bottom. Power poles down. Work that area really good on the edges, sometimes a little bit in the middle. It seems to be better than the popping cork. Right now it does, at least. Yeah.
And then even when I'm on my drift, set your drift up to where you can go over as much yellow bottom as you can. So get up at the highest point of your boat, put your Baheo sunglasses on, put your hat on, and look out there and take into consideration your wind and your current, and then look around. If you see a gigantic green area, try your best not to drift over it. If you see a big green area with a whole lot of like depressions and then that yellow bottom we call golden bottom out there, that's going to be like a mixture of coral and rock and sand and stuff like that. That's where those fish are going to be wanting to hang out. And so try your best to get your drift over that. Even if you have power poles, awesome. And just like Marrio said, get up to that yellow bottom, power pole down, take 5 or 6 casts. You don't catch anything, move on up to the next one. If you don't have a power pole, no problem. Just like I said, just keep drifting over that yellow bottom, throwing that DOA, glow fluke, DOA, pearl fluke, DOA. Any of those are going to work just fine. And then, are you using like a 1/16 ounce, an 1/8 ounce, a 1/4 ounce? What are you using on that deeper water?
I'm normally using an 1/8 ounce jig head. It's pretty much the jig head of your choice. They're all pretty darn good as long as they have a strong hook. There's a handful of jig heads. Switch your mic out. Switch my mic. Okay. There's that one there. All right. There is a handful of jig heads out there that don't work well, but
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That being said, you can use just about anything over the counter. Some of the jig heads out there, I mean, you can use like, me specifically, I use either a Strike King jig head or either or a Jim's jig. They both work fairly good.
You use that Strike King, and you gave me like multiple packs of them to use.
Yeah.
And those things are awesome. I like them just as much as a Jim's jig, and I think it's solely because there's a real wide gap in between the shank of the hook and then the actual pointy end with the barb
and there's a really good keeper on that. The thing with the soft plastics, a lot of times you're working that bait really hard, and if you work it too hard, a lot of times those plastics slide off the back of the jig heads. And with the Strike Kings, for sure, they have a really good keeper on it. And plus, if you're using plastics, you can actually use a shrimp on that jig head also.
Yeah.
And it holds that shrimp on so much better than some of these other jig heads. But I like them. They work really good. I mean, I don't push them or anything like that. It's that's just my jig of choice.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then personally, I like the watermelon red.
Everybody does.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
that is the cat's ass.
That is the color. Yeah. Watermelon red glitter is. I say I have probably 30 or 40 packs of Mirror Little Johns on the boat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say at least 15 of them are the, watermelon red glitter. That's the #1 color for the Mirror Lure.
I carry 2 colors, and that's glow, and that's watermelon red.
Right.
People are like, Captain, can we change up anything? Well, I mean, look through the box. If
Yeah,
you find another color, you can have it, man.
I have a handful of colors, but the watermelon red glitter works good. There's a color up here with they call it chicken, which also works good. It's a it's a similar color to
a lizard fish.
Oh, really?
It's like a brownish red on the back, and it's got a white belly, and it happens to have a chartreuse tail. And if you've ever cleaned trout anywhere out here, you find lots of small, tiny lizard fish in their stomachs. So it's a good color to use. The glow, I don't use a whole lot of the glow in the Little Johns. I use those in the DOA.
Just in the DOA.
Yeah, in the DOA, that's a gimme. I mean, that's the only color I ever use in the DOA jerkbait, the 5.5 cals. But that chicken works really good. I like the watermelon red glitter, and there's another color out there. It's called watermelon ice, and it's like a solid green, and it has this holographic, big chunks of holographic glitter that's in it. And that worked good today on the snook.
Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't trout. We caught one trout today on accident, but it works really good on the snook.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's good to know for sure. Well, so I think we've got the trout pretty well covered. So let's move over to redfish.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, the redfish is, man, it's going great right now.
I'm telling you.
I mean, it's awesome.
Me and Zach we've known each other for a long time. We fish together. We have the same. We have a very similar fishing style, and redfish is my bread and butter. It's both.
Oh, yeah.
Both of us. That's what we count on for our income basically is the redfish. It's a year-round thing. There's a couple of things that for redfish to know, and I say this at my seminars all the time. You find the mullet,
100%.
and you will find the redfish.
100%.
Mullet is the absolute key to finding redfish. We're going to say from Chaz Point to Mangrove Point in Yankeetown. That whole 25-mile stretch, you find the mullet. As soon as you find the mullet, you fish them. I don't care if they're jumping mullet or just they're rubbing on the bottom. As long as they're active mullet, there's a very good likelihood you're going to find the redfish. Redfish is a fairly simple species. They're creatures of habit. They're going to be in the same places all the time. Like I said, we catch them year-round. Some parts of the year are better than others. Summertime is by far the best time for redfishing altogether. I mean, where we, like here in Ozello, Homosassa, a little bit of Crystal River. Yankeetown gets a little bit better when it's cooler. A little bit north of Yankeetown. I fish a lot of Cedar Key. The summertime all the way up to mid-fall is really good up in Cedar Key for the redfish.
It just seems like they bunch up real nice.
They do.
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
they like the school.
Yeah, you know, it's not like you're going up and catching. I mean, you can, almost always can go up and catch 2, 3, 4 redfish at a spot, but it's when you're going and you can sit somewhere and land 15 to 20 redfish. Right. You know, and it's awesome.
And if you're ever out there and you see both of us on the same point,
leave.
Yeah. There's no fish there. Yeah, there ain't nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing there. Just might as well go on.
So guys, basically what we're going to be using, an assortment of things. We've talked about this basically every Friday since this started. Any kind of fresh cut bait. It could be mullet, lizardfish, ladyfish, cut pinfish. I mean, any of these garbage fish you're catching out there, I mean, literally you can just chop them right up and send them out, you know. Not really giant chunks, you know, maybe 1.5 by 1.5 or smaller, I would say. Yeah, just something that you can just eat pretty quick.
Top of a beer can, about that big.
Yep, that's really good. Actually, that's a great way to put it.
That's what I tell people, top of the beer can, that's it. A little thing with the cut pinfish, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you keep pinfish live, I mean, live pinfish work good for a lot of different species. I mean, it's like a big food source for everything.
For sure.
But if you cut a pinfish on the bias, what I tell people is you can take it from the top of the top of the dorsal fin and cut it right below its tail, like you're making an X, but you're only doing one part of the X. Cut it that way, and what happens is his guts and everything stay together. All in it, you know, so it actually stays alive for 2 or 3 minutes. And what it does when you throw it out there and you let it sit, it's sitting there wiggling because it's still alive.
Man, you're cruel.
I tell you, man, I don't know. It works. It works great. Yeah, for cut bait. I'm not a huge fan of using cut bait, but it works really good.
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of people use cut mullet, cut ladyfish. That works pretty good. But I like using live bait. mud minnow is your friend if you're red fishing. You want a mud minnow that's about 4.5 inches long. Between 4.5, that's a good size. I mean, you can use the smaller ones too. You get smaller redfish, you get a lot of mangrove snappers and stuff with that, but a 4.5 inch mud minnow will catch the snook and the redfish, but the redfish absolutely tear them up.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's. We can do that.
I would say power down as far away as you can from it and just be really quiet going up to it. Use your trolling motor approaching a point. If you don't have a trolling motor, guys, you know, go get a big old long piece of bamboo.
Yep.
You know, and just pull yourself up there.
Or drift in with the wind.
Drift in with the wind. Yeah. And then when you're approaching those points, you know, just like Mario was talking about, you're going to see those mullet. You know, and sometimes those mullet are not right on the bank. Sometimes they're off the bank by, you know, 30 yards or something like that. You know, don't feel like those redfish are right on the bank. You can drift up and then anchor down, power pull down, whatever the case may be, and then cast that first group of mullet that you see. Throw your cut bait in there, throw your live pinfish, throw your creek chubs or your mud minnows right in there, and then work your way closer and just try and work your way up to the mangroves. You know, don't feel like you got to start right on them.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm going to say, I'd say 70, 75, 80% of the time they are going to be close to the mangroves. But there's been many, many days, even this week, there's been many days that they'll be a quarter mile off of the trees. Yeah, and if you don't, the problem is when you're approaching these shorelines, a lot of people run straight into where they're going to where they want to fish. And they don't shut their motor down until they get right on top of them.
Yeah, spook them out.
It's too late. Yeah, it's too. At that point, it is way too late. Everything is scattered. They're gone. They're not going to eat for another hour because they're skittish. Yeah, these guys get run over all the time, and you have to be really stealthy to actually be successful at red fishing. There's just here maybe in the past 3 years. We've seen so much more boat traffic out there, and that's really what kills your redfish bite. And yeah, it's good and bad at the same time. You're bringing money to the county with all these other people coming from Tampa, from Fort Myers, from the East Coast coming in. Yeah, but then they just don't know. Yeah, so and it kind of screws it up for the locals.
And another thing I'd kind of like to touch on. Is red fishing etiquette out there. I mean, if you see somebody that is facing towards a point and they're 100 yards off the point and they're going in with their trolling motor, guys, they're doing what they should do. They're going in nice and quiet. When you're running down the mangroves, guys, don't cut in between that boat and the mangroves because he's actively trying to sneak up to a fish or a school of fish.
Yeah, and you're going to blow them out.
You're just going to scare every single one. I mean, we all talk every single day about, man, this boat just blew up this whole school of redfish, and that's it. We're stopping where you should, way off the mangroves. We're creeping in there, being as quiet as possible, and then you got, you know, Joe Schmo over here just blasting, and he doesn't know any better, you know. But I mean, that's what I wanted to go over. Just go around the guy. It doesn't take you any more time to go. Just, you know, change your course 10 degrees, and you're going to go behind him.
That actually happened today with me. I'm running down south. And I come around a couple of islands. I see somebody working an island over here. Yeah. So I figured, well, let me cut in a little bit over here so I wouldn't mess him up. Yeah. I get her because you can't see around these corners a lot of times. Yeah. I get around the corner and there's two boats sitting on this point, and I whip it as hard as I can, and I slid sideways to avoid this guy, and I was probably 250, 300 yards off of him, but I'm trying to avoid it because I don't want to mess his fishing up. Yeah.
And that guy. He looked at you and said, "Man, that's awesome."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like
he 100% appreciated.
I didn't look because I literally went sideways. It looked like Fast and Furious going.
Yeah. And then another thing, guys, is we've got trout. The trout are going to be moving in thick in the next few weeks to month. Okay, you're going to have a lot of boats out there drifting for trout, guys. If you see 5 boats on a line, drifting with the wind, please
Yes.
don't go 20, 30 yards off our bow, you know? Because, I mean, that we're actively out there fishing. And not just for us guides.
Right.
There's a
That's
lot
for
of
anybody, yeah.
recreational guys out there doing that. And you'll see the recreational guys throw their hands up and like, what the heck? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, guys just go behind everybody.
Hands to
Super
Jesus.
easy.
They do that right there. Yeah.
I got some sign language on
Yeah,
mine.
that's it.
You know.
That's why, I feel like, stuff like this that we talk about and we do and communicate with the people in the marina when they come in and get bait, instead of just selling them 50 shrimp, bring up conversations about, boater etiquette. It's
Yeah.
important.
Well, 100%.
Zach, we just got done talking about this. We got criticized not too long ago for, teaching and giving information, but it's the boater etiquette that most of these people come in the marina and say, hey, I just want to let you know, I learned how to properly fish the banks over there because what you guys said. So if we do our part as guides and people that are out there every day educating, that's my favorite part about doing stuff like this. And Marrio, I hear on your fish talk seminars, like people always talk about that you go above and beyond just teach them how to use a lure. You teach them about the ways of the water.
Yep.
So that's our jobs as guides and shrimp slingers and airboat guys. So, but that's my favorite part. So
Yeah. Not pointing fingers or anything.
the noisy guy over there. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. Good deal.
What
And
about
then we got, go ahead.
what if Marrio? So shallow water grouper.
Okay.
That's picking up.
Okay.
I hear you're okay at it. Decent
I hate
at
it.
You hate it?
Dude, me and him are the same. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I can't stand it.
Do
You
you,
can't
like
stand
do you
it.
hate doing it or do you hate guiding it?
I don't like doing it because I can't be consistent at it, specifically because I run a skiff.
Yeah.
If you got 15, 20 mile an hour winds, my boat's not pointy in the front, so I'm not gonna run any further than 3 feet of water. So I can't be a consistent grouper guide to do that. It's not that bad, and a lot of my clients are older, I guess, in age.
Yeah.
And they can't turn those fish, and they get disappointed, and especially when you're plug casting these things.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna lose a $25 plug every time they can't reel a fish in.
Absolutely.
I'm not a huge fan of that.
But you enjoy doing it.
It's fun. Yeah.
I see.
That's another thing. I don't recreational fish anymore. I don't fish for fun anymore. This is a job for me, and it's every day, and I don't fish for fun. I wish I did, but I don't.
I don't care to catch them. I just love shooting them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's
There
why
you
we
go.
go lobster.
There you go.
Love
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah. That's fine. It's just something about shallow water grouper fishing, and I agree. I'll have clients that want to do it, but I know those clients, and exactly like you said, it's because they
Yep.
can't turn them. That gets frustrating.
It does.
If they get rocked up, they have hooks broke off in their mouth. You
Right.
waste your fuel going out there for people that
Yeah.
isn't going to be able to accomplish turning that fish.
That being said, I'm doing it tomorrow. So yeah, just to let you guys
I
know.
can tell you right now, if one of my clients lost a $25 plug, I'd be going in the water with my mask.
So my last question for you, Marrio. So you're kind of like one of those idol guides, right? Everyone looks up to you. No, seriously, man. We all look up to you. You're great at what you do. Everyone that fishes with you loves it.
I'll take that. Yeah, thanks.
He paid me to say that. No, but here's my question to you.
Yeah.
If you could pick one fish to go out and target on the nature coast, one fish, what is it?
Snook, for sure.
And that's our last fish.
That's our last fish we're going to talk about. It's a good segue right there. But the snook fishing here on the nature coast, nobody knew about it until probably 11, 12 years ago. We kept it secret for so long. I caught my first snook here in 1988, just to let you know. And I slowly I just kept fishing for him. I'm old, dude. I'm almost 50. Just to let you guys know.
Shit, man, I'm aging horribly.
I know. but we would actually.
Trevor looks younger than me. I'm 31.
I know. But I've been catching snook out here since 1988, 89, and I've slowly kind of figured them out. And we used to go to Tampa and Port Canaveral and Stewart to fish for these things all the time because I love snook fishing. But I've kind of honed it. I've gotten really good at it since about the mid-90s.
Oh, you're significantly better than I am.
Yeah, and we started targeting them all the time. I didn't have a Facebook account until 2010. So I didn't have a cell phone that had a camera until 2011. So just put it that way. So we kept it quiet for a long time. But our snook fishing here is phenomenal. I mean, it's just straight up phenomenal. They're all over the place. We were in Cedar Key a couple of weeks ago. We caught 2 snook up in Cedar Key.
That's pretty cool.
And it's a regular thing up there now.
Yeah.
We were part of a study through IFAS with the University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing fin clips to do DNA testing on these snook to see if there could be a subspecies of them, because they're more cold tolerant up here. And there actually is a 0.5% difference in the DNA from the ones in Fort Myers and Tampa than there are here. Not enough to make a subspecies, but they are different. But the difference is the cold tolerance here. Plus we have a lot of thermal refuge here. We got the springs and stuff like that. So, but we have a huge population of snook up here that not a whole lot of people know about.
Yeah. Part of that too is we have so much area that they can go.
Yes.
They move in, like you said, the springs, the Halls River. There's times of the year that it looks like the ground's moving.
Right.
And everyone thinks that snook fishing died off and they moved somewhere. They just moved to another river in Citrus County.
Do you see how many snook are staying in the river in the summertime now?
In the summer,
with all that grass.
They're homing in the river basically, and the redfish too. There's a lot of redfish in the river that just stay there year round because there's food. So.
Like the ledges, the springs out in the Gulf too.
Oh yeah,
It's cool to watch them. They're almost impossible to catch when they're at that point. But it's just neat to see them, when they're all huddled up in those little divots and those little potholes and everything else.
But our snook fishing here, there's a couple of things. I mean, they're going to be in the same place the redfish are going to be for the most part. Working the islands, any of the western facing points. There's one thing that I've told a couple of people about. I call it the 40-foot rule. What you do is if you know there's going to be snook in an area, or if you think there's going to be snook in the area, start way back. I mean, 150, 200 yards back from where you think they're going to be. Throw your baits out there, work it, 3 or 4 baits. You don't get nothing, move 40 feet. Throw your baits out there until you get to that point. Sometimes it takes 5, 6, 7 stops to do that. You'll run through a lot of bait, but you won't spook those snook.
Really?
Snook are very, very, they know. I mean, they're a lot smarter than the redfish.
Really?
But that 40-foot rule has helped so much in my snook fishing.
That makes a lot of sense. What do you think the theory behind that is?
They know. They have these big eyeballs that can see.
I mean, look at their lateral line.
Yeah, they can feel you, they can see you. You have to sneak up on them. That's a necessity on snook. Redfish, sometimes they get stupid. You can run right over them. You still catch them. You won't do that with snook.
The craziest part that I've experienced versus red versus snook, snook don't spook near as much as the reds do on airboat.
On an airboat?
Yeah.
I don't
for sure.
fish on an airboat.
It's
So.
yeah, I know, but I mean, just out of my personal
Well,
experience, running the reef, like the snook just stay. I'm like,
But they know you're there. They won't eat.
could be.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
That's the
but
whole
like
thing with that,
redfish
yeah.
move 3 feet. Snook don't move.
Yeah, they sit there. They're lazy.
Even on a
Yeah.
trolling motor, getting up to one of those outer islands and you just see the snook. If you get too close to those snook, it's frustrating for your clients because they can see them and you're saying, all right, guys, let's go to the next spot.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Cap,
They're
there's
right
fish
there.
right here. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude.
If you can see a
Your
snook,
trip's
it's
free
too
if you
late.
can hook
It's too
one up.
late. That's
too late.
exactly right. That's another rule. If you see that snook, it's probably too late.
Yeah.
Favorite artificial bait for snook?
DOA Cal 5.5 Glow.
Like that
Louie's
one right
got
there?
a pack of them right there.
With his
If
hand
you want
behind
to pan
him,
over to
ready to
Louie, they're
roll.
right there. Yeah, put your hand behind it. That's beautiful.
One.
Show your teeth. Yeah. But that right there on a 4/0 circle hook, it gets them, I'd say, more than 50% of the time.
Like nose hooked?
Yeah, nose hook them, 4/0 circle hook. I use an owner. So that's you can use whatever hook you want. You can use a J hook too, but
You go bottom up for a nose hook?
bottom up with a nose hook, and you work it just like a topwater bait. Exactly like you would a topwater. Walk the dog with it, and just pause it every now and again.
Nice. All right, well, those are my questions. So, Zach,
We're good.
back to
Well,
you.
man, we're good. That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's it for us.
Mario, thank you very much
No
for
more
joining
secrets.
us. Hey, no secrets in fishing, but
There you
secrets,
go.
right? So, guys, that was awesome. Zach, Mario, thank you very much for joining us on the casting couch over there. The
I still
Ayinde,
love the name of this thing.
right? State Farm Casting Couch Fishing Report, all kinds of cool stuff. We got think Zach's got some animal heads that he's got all picked out for his new section over there. So, so that was the new segment where we kind of switched up the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Fishing Report, where Zach's on the casting couch. He's going to be interviewing a different captain each week, getting, I mean, I learned that 40-foot rule. Like, that's awesome. You know, I mean, I really never fished for snook like that. I usually,
I was hoping he wasn't going to give you all that information.
we've given worse. We've given worse.
How much you like to share with us.
So, but that being said, you know, a lot of grief after our last episode, Zach. We did.
Who's going to hate?
You know what? Here's my whole thing.
Want to know where the tarpon are at?
Tell them all. You got the GPS coordinates at the credits now, right? For each captain. So, guys, we are not here to give away anyone's secret spots.
Not by any means.
We are not here to, you know, to take clients away from guides. We're here to help put smile on faces.
Well, that's it. For the boaters that are already going to be out there, we're just kind of giving them a heads up on how to get to those spots, how to fish those spots, and, well, you're on your own from there.
Yeah.
Just don't trash our bottoms.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, and don't trash our bottoms.
Yep.
Don't, you know, don't interfere in someone that's making a living on the water.
Yep.
You know, don't interfere rudely. If you make friends with that guide, don't forget, when you meet them at the dock, they're going to be giving you the same information.
That's exactly it. I mean, everybody wants to see everybody having a good time fishing,
That's
what we're here for. So
we'll never say, you know, go to this spot right here at this time and this time of the day. Use this bait, and then make sure you fish this exact point with this pound test.
There's a lot of TV shows that captains do.
I heard.
That show you how to fish, where to fish, exactly what time to fish.
I mean, if you want to see it, jump on my airboat tour. I'll be happy to bring you around wherever guide's going. You know, no,
Like that one time Zach told me he was fishing a different spot, and you're like, Zach, was that where you were fishing?
Is that where I found you today? Zach's like, oh.
But listen,
that
that being said, what we're trying to say, guys, is we are here for you. We're here for our ecosystem. We're here for our fishery. We're here for our family. So, you know, if anyone's offended by that, then come join Zach on the casting couch, right? Maybe not. That being said, one last thing that we forgot to talk about, important tool for lobstering is a wireless trolling motor.
Yes.
Power pole, wireless trolling motor. That was super important. Thanks to our friends over at Rodan, you know, they got us set up right, literally on the way to the Keys.
Yeah. Answered every question we had on that. The nice part is having them on a lanyard, set your power pole down, set your spot lock, hang it right off that cleat.
Yeah. In shallow water only, and not on a windy day.
Yeah.
You know, so the best, I mean, if you have one person, there's always going to be one person that might want to hang out in the boat. So, you know, when that, was it the first day or second day when Brody slept the first 4 hours and I got to hang out with him on the boat, it was nice to be able to kind of follow your all's movement. You know, I kept having to remind you guys, hey, listen, don't forget it's on spot lock. You know,
don't swim into it.
You know, you get to cover more ground. And and then the other thing about covering more ground too at lobster was the tow ropes.
Yes.
The ski ropes. That was huge. You know, finding different spots and, you know, being able to drag you around. A lot of people use that method for scalloping. Just watch where you're going and make sure you don't run over another scalloper. But, yeah, thank you again, Rodan. You know, you were awesome. You got us all fixed up and you taught us how to use this cool technology.
Backed it up the way you said you would, too. It was awesome.
So we've got the 120-pound thrust.
36 volt.
36 volt. Almost puts that T-craft up on a plane. Love this thing.
It moves it.
It also has reverse.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was.
They have a reverse on that.
I thought it was just a back down of speed.
No, it has reverse.
Yeah. So and then Rick taught us. We stopped and saw Rick on the way back, and he taught me what the T finally meant. Which the guy there at Rodan explained it to me, but I was more focused on the reverse thing when he started saying that.
I'm like, what?
But you know, you point the head of your trolling motor, and I think the other companies do too. They have the north button, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, when I had that trolling motor and I thought north up just meant, you know, you hit that and it goes north automatically. But you point the head of your trolling motor where you want to go and you hit the T and it's going to keeps your head.
It just tracks
right there.
it.
Yeah, it's a track.
Yep. So if the wind starts blowing too hard or the current, it puts you right back on that track. So
Yeah, which is pretty sweet.
really cool.
To be able to follow a bank that way would be mighty nice.
Absolutely. Billy, do you want to ask the secret question? So and
Yeah, I think you can do that.
so we've got, it's the Extreme Decalz Reel of Fortune.
Yep.
We're going to be giving away. All right, you ready? I just thought of this because we forgot to put this part out on the script. So, Sean, bear with me.
All right, well,
so
what are we
we're
giving
going to
away?
be giving away. Let's do a $50 since it's our first show back. We're going to do a $50 gift certificate for downstairs, bait, tackle,
Anything on the
bikini,
shelf.
sunglasses, whatever you want. $50 off. We're
I
going
like
to
it.
do. Let's do an airboat ride for 2.
Woohoo, that's with
All right.
me.
So we're at $160
Who
now.
wants to learn where the fishing spots are? I'm just kidding.
Let's do kayak rentals for 4 at our Homosassa location.
Welcome back to Friday
2
Night
hours.
Fish Talk.
Now here's my favorite one. We are gonna do 2 lobster tails as well. Fresh from the Keys. 2 lobster tails.
Your bag.
From my
Oh, we did so.
Billy's.
We did quite well. We did all right. We did all right down
We did
there.
good. So $50 gift certificate in the marina.
Our tour with me.
Our tour with you. Sorry
For 2.
about that, guys. So you all can wave at Marrio when he's flicking Billy off. You're scared of the snook now. And then what did I say for his kayaks? 4 kayak rentals?
4 kayaks.
4 2-hour kayak rentals.
Is that for singles or 4 singles or 2 tandems?
We'll do 4 people, whatever you
4
want to decide.
people,
If you
there
want to
it
do
is.
2 tandems, that's fine.
We can always grow from there if you want to pay for more.
Yep. And
2 tails.
2 lobster tails, yeah, and the most important one. 2 fresh out of Billy's bag. I would say out of Louie's bag, but
Well, it's because I caught the most.
but FWC took those ones. What? Yeah, the crawdads.
I mean, Gary's just frustrated because I produced more lobster, so he's like, of course I'm going to give Billy's away.
Exactly.
So that is what it is.
So that being said, Billy, why don't you ask the secret question tonight? Now, for those of you that don't know how the Reel of Fortune works, the first 14 people,
14 people.
to answer this question correctly via live chat
Yep.
is going to get added on to the Reel of Fortune.
That's exactly it. The Wheel of Fortune, we spin it until win it.
Spin it away. And let's let Marrio spin it tonight. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. The Reel of Fortune. On the casting couch? What?
So,
What is, for the question itself?
all right, go now, son. Good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's a lot to give away just
Go
for.
ahead,
All
go
right. All right. What is?
Before you ask,
all
before
right,
you ask.
what do
Before you ask. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
What is the bag limit for lobster tails themselves? For the lobster in general?
Per person.
Per person.
Per
Okay,
person.
fine.
In the state of Florida.
Yeah.
No, actually in the Keys, because it is different in other places. So
Yeah, where we were.
Oh, is it the per day bag limit?
per day, it's same. It's the same. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, per person.
What are you tripping?
No, because you can only leave the Keys with so many lobsters.
No,
Well,
per
you're right,
person,
you're right.
per day,
Yeah.
bag limit
Yeah.
in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, that was something we learned on the way home. Yep.
Well, you want,
That's why Billy's giving it away.
that's called discarding evidence.
Yeah. So, what is the bag limit for lobster per person per day?
What kind of lobster?
Spiny ones.
And where at?
The Florida Keys.
The Florida Keys. So
Louie had to learn that the hard way. Spiny.
that being said, let's go to the Extreme Decalz, the guy that made this awesome sign, that sign, that sign, that sign.
We're
all
missing a
the
part
signs
of it.
here.
I think the bone broke, but you know, it's there.
That's an inside joke. That being said, let's go to the catch of the week.
Ready for
Let's see
it.
what we got here.
Who's been fishing?
Of course, Jessica's been fishing. She always fishes.
They are always out there killing it. Producing some beautiful reds and a nice
One of the
snook.
snook that you guys were talking about. Captain Teddy.
The old Choupé.
Theodore.
Another gorgeous snook.
Laura.
Yeah,
Always-
kicking it out there.
I heard she kicked Rick's butt with snook that day.
That is a dark, that's backwaters red right there. That's pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Good find.
Cap-
Oh, Carlos, that's
Captain
a.
Ca-
That,
oh yeah,
that one looks
he
big.
had a good question actually that none of us verified. If a shark were to bite a redfish tail off
In a tournament.
No. I'm talking about league, like
Oh yeah.
overall.
Well, I was going both ways
If a
on that.
shark were to bite a redfish tail off, so a natural occurrence, is that, and it was a 30-inch redfish, but it took 4 inches off, can you keep that redfish?
I mean, it technically measures out to be.
Not in a tournament.
Not in a tournament, but legally. So,
As long as between 18 and 27.
I mean, technically, yeah, you pinch the tail, just the meat. This is what's left.
you're gonna start seeing Louie come back with scales in his teeth, but yeah, another shark got it. I don't know what happened.
Nice little shot mangrove.
Oh, yeah, that's the Ho 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 Fishing for Dough tournament winner last year. His first fish with a
Nice.
fish stick spear gun,
That is awesome.
which
There
was
it is.
super
What a-
awesome. Yeah. Now that
is not.
that
That's
one
not a
is
snapper.
Blake Coleman. He actually helped build these signs. He works for Brian at
Nice.
Extreme Decalz. That
Damn, that's
was
grouper.
I believe that was his first fish with a fish stick spear gun.
Yeah, with the baby rock gun. And there's the fish stick himself. I mean, stick.
There's old Charlie Hammond, the owner of Fish Stick Spear Guns. Who do we got there? Wait. Oh, that was Charlie. Okay. All right. Pass him.
That lobster bisque.
All right. Lobster bisque. Yeah, I hear you're a cooker. You like to cook a lot? Yep.
I cook very well. Yeah.
So we our first day we kept 18 heads of lobster. We made a lobster bisque. Billy did we found a huge horse conch, which yes, you can legally keep a horse conch in the Keys. And then he made red lobster. Let's see, red lobster
cornbread
biscuits.
biscuit.
Yeah, cornbread. Yeah, with conch.
And they're delicious.
So that was a fun treat that
I'd
night.
like to know what his base is for his bisque.
Oh, that's Gary.
So
That is all Gary there.
great question, fun question.
Yeah.
Billy and I's first time down to the Keys.
First 3 times.
Yeah, so the ladies, they did the cooking the first couple nights, and we're gonna cook you all the dinner tonight. All right. Billy and I got smashed on Jaeger. Smashed.
Vacation.
All right, we got an Uber to the Winn-Dixie there.
Yeah.
We had no idea what we were gonna make. We had a bunch of lobster heads that we still hadn't thrown out. We just put on ice because you have to take them out of the canals back there. And we decided to get all this stuff to make a lobster bisque. Never made it before, but we have no idea what we got. And we did a lobster head bisque, cooked the lobster heads in the bisque for a few hours, and it was amazing.
Yeah, came out delicious.
So next year, the following year, we were telling that story, and like, everyone else that started joining us, like, we want to do lobster head bisque.
Yeah, can you make that for us?
Yeah,
We're
like, what do we? So we got smashed again, did it again.
Went grocery shopping.
4 years in a row, we got smashed and made lobster head bisque.
And it comes out different
No idea what
every
it is.
time.
Yeah, it does come out different every time, but it's good.
It looks good. It looks really good.
So,
Notice he didn't give you the secret.
Yeah.
He won't. And he won't. Yeah. He'll wait till the cameras are on.
I can tell you this: balsamic
Balsamic glaze.
reduction, the glaze.
Yeah.
I truly think that's the secret. 'cause
It's good
We'll do
kicker
a
to
line
it.
of that at the very end. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that hammered next year.
Seasoning and Alfredo sauce.
really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's
Who shot those?
Oh yeah.
that's how I make my bisque.
What kind of
Where's the
snapper
sound
is
of
that again?
That was
dog
a
snapper.
dog snapper.
Big old
Yep.
dog.
Charlie
snapper.
turned me on to those while we were down there in the Keys. It was a lot of fun getting to shoot.
Black too, right?
It was a black, yeah.
Grouper, yeah.
No one believed us. They got it in 4 foot of water either. No one.
Standing on top of the rock,
Down
yeah.
in the Keys, you can do that. Yeah.
So go back to that picture real quick, Sean. Mario, appreciate that one. That was the one day that Billy picked up his girlfriend Jordan from the airport, so we didn't leave out in the boat until noon. Brody was over sitting in the house. This was only the second day.
Yeah.
Brody was he wanted to get out in the water, so that's how we found him, sitting at the dock waiting for us to get ready.
He's ruined.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Couple of big jacks right there.
Yeah, there.
Captain Zac.
Or as Bob would call it, Amber
We
Jack.
caught a
Yeah,
big one today.
Did you really?
Yeah, we caught one today.
Really?
Yeah. Not that big, but we caught one today.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah, but that's probably
Up here?
the 6th one we've caught this year. Yeah.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you where it is.
Yeah. That's too cool.
Yeah.
Start running barracuda charters.
That's my first fish I shot with the first
That
two
was your
fish.
first one?
First 2 fish I shot with the new.
The big ones.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, some barracuda.
Shark. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you. I see Memphis. That's
Oh,
cool.
Memphis. Memphis wants to bring a stump knocker down there next year and
He
do
should.
bone fishing.
Definitely should.
That was our first day there.
Casey was in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brody was a little wore out. That's Memphis teaching me how to clean a conch.
Third run back, knock it out.
Brody with his girlfriend. There they are.
Casey again.
Good old tails.
How many days do we have left now? Zach?
352 days.
352 days to the Keys.
Do you fish?
They say they're going to open those here pretty soon.
Yep, about that size. Even $500 you can have it.
$10 lottery ticket.
Yeah, too big.
50 or 500 tags, I think.
Yeah.
And you can only keep it from 25 to 35 inches.
26, I think it's 26 to
26 to
30 something. Yeah.
It's small.
It's going to be certain areas are going to hit a certain amount.
Yeah. Small. Old Marina with the new Bahio sign.
I believe there was 200 tags that are going to be issued this year. Yeah.
And
I'm
if
pretty
you
sure
get
that's for the whole Gulf
That's
Coast.
the entire Gulf.
and if you get drawn, then you pick $500 to go get that fish.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
haven't seen a lot here that are 26 to 33.
I've seen a handful. I mean, literally a handful.
The ones that I see can eat a lot.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're here. Airboat ride, kayak rentals, 2 Billy Lobster tails, and a
$50 in the
$50.
store.
So Captain Marrio, I want you to spin it like I'm talking a Shimano pen spin. Yeah, there you go. There we go.
Who we get?
Orange or red?
Purple.
Jessica, she
Jessica?
finally won.
Way to be, girl.
Jessica finally won. Jessica's been watching the show since day one,
Yeah,
and
she
every
has.
time, hey, I think we
Producing
should
fish
switch how this whole
pictures.
winning thing works. Because congratulations, Jessica. Captain Mario, thank you very much, man. I appreciate
Pleasure.
everything.
My pleasure.
Great having you
Guys,
on board.
great first show back. Sean, Brianna, you guys are awesome. This was badass. And then Phillips Auto Group, State Farm, Extreme Decalz, Bush Home Services, Bahio Sunglasses. What's your honest opinion on those?
I love them. Captain Ken Craig turned me onto these. I was with one of the other guys for 11 years until he showed me these.
There's something a little different, aren't they?
I switched right then. And I came in here, talked to you guys. They're great. They're awesome. And the pink lenses, I filmed with Rick Murphy about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said they were coming out with the pink lenses, and he showed me his.
Can say if you want to borrow mine, I do have them.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow them for a
Yeah.
fishing trip if you want to try them.
I'll just wait till they come out all together. I talked to Mike Holiday, so he's going to give me this.
There you go. So, there you go. Even Cap Mario says Bahio is
Yeah,
it.
it's good stuff. Great stuff.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah, man.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again. We'll see you next Friday.
And we got.
Still on.
Nope, still on. Still on.
I love this awkward
Still
moment.
on.